Hi students, welcome to Shaker History classes. In this video, we will learn about this question. In Sanskrit plays written during the Gupta period, women and shudras speak. A. Sanskrit, B. Prakrit, C. Pali, D. Sauraseni. In 1995, this question was asked. If you observe, in early times they used to ask direct questions, but nowadays UPSC is asking more statement type of questions. And also during Gupta time period, the literature related questions are coming more nowadays regarding Kalidas, regarding Amarasimha, Amarakosha, and this type of questions are being asked in Gupta period. They are statement type. If you know the broader context, you can understand and you can deduce the right answer. Now here we will see this question is there in RS Sharma itself. This is the extract from old NCERT RS Sharma. Let us see about the evolution of language. Gupta time period, we are talking about Gupta time period. What is the time period of Gupta? Generally regarded 320 or 319 or 320 is the starting of Gupta time period. This is the Gupta era until 550 AD. From 320 AD to 550 AD is regarded as the Gupta time period. However, 320 is not the beginning. It is the real beginning. Even before 320 also some Gupta rulers were there. Guptas were mainly there near Pataliputra and also Ujjain region. These two regions became very powerful and important during Gupta time period. Here, question is about language. The moment you see language, start from the early history itself. What is the beginning stage? It is about early Vedic period, then later Vedic period, then Mahajanapada period, Mauryas, post-Mauryas, then Guptas. If you see Sanskrit, in early Vedic period and later Vedic period, Sanskrit played very important role. However, during Mahajanapada period means you have to remember the age of Buddhism and Jainism as well. And in Buddhism and Jainism, local languages played important role. In the case of Buddhism, Pali language was used. In case of Jainism, Prakrit language was used to disseminate the knowledge of Buddhism and Jainism into common people. This was the language of common. Commoners were using the languages like Pali and Prakrit, whereas Sanskrit became the language of elite. And in case of Mauryan Empire, Ashoka issued inscriptions in Prakrit language. Now you see, during Mauryan Empire time, Prakrit common language became the royal language, not the Sanskrit one. And in case of post-Mauryan period, for the first time we see Sanskrit in the form of inscription. The first Sanskrit inscription was discovered in Girnar region, issued by Rudradaman. Rudradaman, he was a Shaka ruler. He was the one who issued first pure Sanskrit type of inscription. This is the real beginning of Sanskrit apart from early Vedic and later Vedic texts. From this time period onwards, gradually Sanskrit became a dominant language. By the time Gupta time period, Rudradaman time period is around 150 AD. 150 AD is the Rudradaman Shaka era. Now we are talking about 320 and 550 AD. So by this time period, Sanskrit became very important. And one more development in case of Buddhism also. If you observe in the initial stages, Pali was the language. Even Tripitakas, important texts for Buddhism, are written in Pali. Like Vedic texts are written in Sanskrit language. Buddhist texts are written in Pali language. Gradually, the Buddhist monks also gave up this common language and they adopted Sanskrit also to write Buddhist literature. This is the kind of evolution in Sanskrit language. Guptas patronized Sanskrit, and during the time period of Chandragupta II, he is known to history as Vikramaditya because he defeated Shaka people. In our history, Vikram era came because a ruler named Vikramaditya defeated Shakas. From this time period onwards, Vikramaditya became the title. Chandragupta II has taken this title. His court is also important for patronage of literature. During his time period, there were Navaratnas, 9 gems based on the quality literature they produced during his time period. Kalidasa was the first among them. Kalidasa has written a text called Abhignana Shakuntalam along with many others. Abhignana Shakuntalam was one of the greatest poetic works in our human history, not only in the Indian history but in the entire human history. If you list out top 100 plays in the entire human history, Kalidas Abhignana Shakuntalam becomes one of the top 100. Such kind of great people were there during Gupta time period. They have written important works. Now, in their works, one major development is the difference between classes, upper class and lower classes. The difference in the plays in terms of language it is shown. Upper caste or upper varna, they have Sanskrit, they were talking Sanskrit, whereas lower varnas or shudras, and in case of women also, they were using Prakrit language. Now you see, Sanskrit was royal language. Despite Sanskrit was the royal language, common people were still using Prakrit. Now if you see the evolution, since Mahajanapada period itself, we have the Sanskrit, Mauryan inscriptions are there in Prakrit language, and also Shatavahanas in Deccan, their official language was also Prakrit. Later Prakrit replaced with Sanskrit by the rulers from Gupta time period onwards. However, common people were using Prakrit language. This difference is shown clearly in the writings of these people as well. In Sanskrit plays written during Gupta period, women and Shudra speak, that is Prakrit. Sanskrit, upper varna or upper class, lower varna or lower class, and women also. Pali was by this time period gradually declined. Even Buddhist monks who initially used Pali for writing Buddhist literature, they also started writing in Sanskrit. Sauraseni is a form of Prakrit language. Here Prakrit is the clearly given in the NCERT itself, RS Sharma. Here you can see characters of higher and lower classes do not speak the same language. Women and Shudras featuring in these plays use Prakrit, while the higher classes use Sanskrit. So this is about Sanskrit and Prakrit differentiation during Gupta time period. If you know holistically, even if UPSC asks statement type of questions, you can derive the answer. Thank you.